Xander here, and I got another good one for you today. We're going to be talking about EOS and Litecoin and who's going to maintain dominance in the top 5 by the end of this year. Keep watching to find out. So which is it that you like, guys? Are you feeling the power of EOS, or are you following the light of Litecoin? Because personally, I definitely like one more than the other. Not by a whole lot, and not because one is bad or one is good, because I think that they're both great projects and that they both have a bright future. But one lights the way a little more than the other. Y'all know that I back Litecoin and that I heavily invest in Litecoin, so maybe I'm a little biased. That's why I really want to know what your opinion is in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about EOS. Let me know how you feel about Litecoin, because I definitely love to hear perspectives on multiple sides. So, looking at a $420 billion market, so still pretty mid-range, still double where we were just, like a month ago. So, I don't mind it. I'm still waiting for the end of the year, though. End of the year is when we're going to see some real pickup, and I think we're going to pass the $1 trillion mark for sure. Well, I can't say for sure, but for me personally, I would put money on it. And I actually am. That's the thing. I'm putting a lot of money on it, that it's going to rise. Anyways, Litecoin or EOS. Let's start off with looking at EOS. Sitting at number 5, EOS is a giant. It has become huge and has gained a lot of popularity, and is actually one of the only coins currently that is recovered from the crash that we saw in the market as of like January and February. So you see that it dropped with everybody else, but it has resurged like not a lot of other coins have. Not even Bitcoin has recovered in this way. Bitcoin is still under 10 grand. The only problem is EOS is a young one coming in. That's a young powerhouse, but it does not have the amount of history past and proof that it's going to continue to do what it needs to do like Litecoin does. EOS started back in July 1st, back in 2017, so it's not even a year old. But there are a lot of cryptocurrencies that are not a year old yet. There are a few that are several years old, obviously Bitcoin being the first one. It's the oldest, but this one is still considerably young whenever you're talking about the top 5. Top 5 is normally considered the best because it has the most investments put into it. So for it to be a contender in the top 5 right now shows real proof that they are pushing forward and people believe in them and that people are investing inside of EOS. So sitting at that $14 billion market cap, a volume of basically $4 billion. That's a big volume. Big. A lot of people are trading it right now. It's sitting at a negative 5%, but that's not too big of a deal considering the grand scheme of things and how much it's already risen. It's just fighting resistance right now. The total supply is, what is that, 1 billion? Yeah, 1 billion coins. That's the max supply. Total supply is 900 billion, and the circulating is 842 million. And that's 900 million, not 900 billion, if I correct myself right there. 842 million are in circulation. That's pretty close to the total supply. That's pretty close, guys. That means that the price is not going to be manipulated, and it is very decentralized, which is always a good thing. And I usually look for that whenever going into cryptocurrencies, but it doesn't necessarily. It's not everything. As long as you trust the company not to inflate the prices or anything like that, you'll be okay. Moving on to Litecoin, let's look at some pros and cons of it. Sitting at number 6, just below it, at $8.7 billion market cap. But EOS was at what, $13 billion market cap? So EOS has a considerable lead. $14.7 billion market cap. So it has a considerable lead on Litecoin right now. We've seen Litecoin pass that. This is the highest we've ever seen EOS at. So we know Litecoin can do better. We've seen Litecoin as high as, let me go to the 1 year. Litecoin as high as market cap 18.7. So it still has some EOS has some proof or some room to grow to prove that it can be better than what Litecoin was. Litecoin took a hard crash from this market going down, but it's finally seeing some resistance right here, as is most of the market. It has not resurged like EOS has, but I really believe in Litecoin. It is one of the most solid projects. It is faster than Bitcoin. It is exponentially cheaper than Bitcoin, and is just the best alternative for me to Bitcoin. It's the silver to the Bitcoin's gold, but honestly, if that's silver, man, I would love to have silver any day. Sitting with a volume of 459 million, not too shabby, but it's still not the same or as high as EOS. Circulating supply sitting at 56 million and the total supply of 84. So it's decently decentralized, but it's not completely decentralized. So it could technically be manipulated, but I don't believe that Litecoin would do it. And they have talked about constantly putting in more coins into the supply as the years go by. Litecoin goes back all the way to, let's see where, there we go. Back in 2013, May of 2013. April, just the end of April. So actually it just had its anniversary of 5 years. So they have a better reputation. Litecoin has proven time and time again that they can compete and that they have good tech and that they have good people behind them and that they will always be a giant in this community, guys. That's why I believe in them. That's why. Because I also believe that their CEO is amazing. I think their team is great. And I love the utility of Litecoin. I love trading. It's so fast. That's why I hate trading Bitcoin. It's just, it's so slow. It takes several hours. The rates are as high as like 16%. And that's a considerably high rate. Whenever, you put in $1,000, you lose $160. If you had invested that $160 into something and at the end of the year, you could have turned $160 into 160 grand. Who knows? Who knows? That's all I'm saying is you don't know. That $160 or that 16% could be worth a lot more in the future if you hadn't invested in it. So that's why Litecoin is pennies on the dollar for Bitcoin, and I love that. But like I said, I'm probably a little biased. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Which one are you backing? EOS or Litecoin? I personally back Litecoin, but I completely understand why you would back EOS. And in the future, I think by the end of this year, I think EOS is going to shine really bright like a white hot sun, but I think it's going to hit a brick wall and it's going to burn out. Just at least for a little while. I think near the end of the year that it's gonna get to maybe top 3 possibly. And because it has a lot of stuff still coming up and a lot of big plans, but after that, I'm not sure what they're going to do. And I don't know if they know what they're going to do. But we'll have to wait and see. But Litecoin, I know, is going to be a sun that's going to burn for a very long time. It is here to stay. And I believe that it could easily, over the next year, by the end of the year, once we hit that $1 trillion market cap, catch up to Ethereum and hold place fighting for second place with Ethereum. I know that's not a popular opinion, but it's mine. Remember, guys, I'm not a professional. This is just my friendly advice, and I hope you take it and then you do your own research and decide for yourself which one you would like to invest into, Litecoin or EOS. But as always, guys, remember to keep calm and keep up, and I'll see you in the next one.